world's first bionic superhumans. They're stronger than us, faster, smarter. The next generation of the human race is...
Lab Rats focuses on the lives of Leo and his new family. His mother gets married to this genius billionaire scientist who happens to have 3 kids with bionic abilities. Adam has super strength and heat vision, Bree has super speed and agility, and Chase has super intelligence and super senses. The show originally ran from 2012 to 2016 in North America on the channel Disney XD. It spanned 4 seasons with a crossover spin-off with a show called Mighty Med, and the 2 shows combined to create Lab Rats Elite Force. For my own history with the series, I was already a teenager during the airing of the first season, and while I thought it was a pretty interesting show, I didn't watch past the first season at all. I only picked up the series again this year because I saw an airing of the episode Leo's Jam on Disney XD Canada, and then I got curious. From there I binge watched seasons 1 to 3, which for some reason were the only seasons that Disney XD Canada aired. For that reason, in this video I will only be covering seasons 1 to 3. Bionic Island and Elite Force will not be covered. Of course, the main drawing point of the series is like the cool bionic powers that Leo's step siblings have. Like, I think the whole bionic concept, you know, it's not something entirely new, but it's not something I've really seen in a children's show, at least. The funny thing is that when I went through Lab Rats, is that the more I watched the shows, I felt less intrigued by the bionics and more about the family relationships in the show, which is really weird coming from a show that has a premise about like 3 bionic superhumans hidden away from the world. In this video I will try to cover some of the relationships within the series that I felt very interesting. I will not be covering Leo's relationship with his mom in depth in this video because I honestly believe that the relationship isn't too far-fetched from other relationships that I've seen on Disney Channel. But I will say that it's evident a lot of times that Tasha really cares for Leo, you know, even if she's strict at times. She cares how well he does in school, she cares about his well-being. Sometimes she won't let him go on missions with the Lab Rats because they're so dangerous. Sometimes she's embarrassing, but it ultimately comes from good intent. She wants to be there for Leo, she wants to support him in anything that he does, and she wants to see him happy. Donald's relationship with his kids, the Lab Rats, on the other hand, is quite different. It's established within the show that they've been inside the laboratory for about 16 years and haven't really had time to socialize outside of the lab. Donald doesn't want to draw attention to them because technically they're, well, bionic humans. Even Tasha describes to Donald that he needs to start treating his children as regular teenagers and not science experiments. Even when they do start venturing into the world, he doesn't particularly seem interested in anything that isn't concerned with their bionics. In the episode Scramble the Orbs, Adam learns a role in the school play. Tasha is pretty supportive of Adam with his whole acting gig, even if it's only one line and he has to do it 75 times to rehearse, but she's the one that reminds Donald that the play is happening and he should go.
You're gonna be fine. It's just one line.
The most important one line of the whole play. Without me, she never finds Mission Creek. It's the entire emotional thrust of the second act, Tasha.
Hello. Donald, don't forget the school plays tomorrow night.
Goodbye.
You're going!
Ah, come on. Shouldn't we be discouraging his acting career?
Although the Lab Rats do disclose their frustration with the lack of actually being a person outside of their bionics, not much really changed in their relationship with Donald. I think the only time that Donald becomes more lenient in what the lab rats do is near the end of season 3, actually, with 3 minus Bree. In context, Bree is the most blunt with her whole situation and her being a bionic person and trying to juggle that with being a normal person at the same time. She's always trying to make these remarks like, why did I have to be stuck like this? And so viewers know that she's kind of the one that's most resentful about the way she is. In the episode, she applies for a chance to go to Australia because that's honestly a very exciting opportunity, and especially for someone who's never really experienced a lot of the world. But Donald says she can't go because there's a lot of complications about her abandoning the team and like what happens without her capsule, and so that's ultimately dropped. It's later in the episode when she wants to go to a concert with her friend Caitlin and Davenport doesn't let her go. That's when she has had enough. You know, she goes to the concert against Davenport's orders, and when he drags her back, they have this whole conversation about like, oh, you're a bionic person, so you have responsibilities. But she's also her own person and needs to have her own social life.
Hours behind. Now the modification's gonna take all night. Now go get your capsule so I can extract your chip.
Ugh, fine.
I don't know what has gotten into you lately. You can't just do whatever you want, whenever you want.
Trust me, you have made that abundantly clear. My life is not my own. Here, my chip. All I want is a little control over what I do.
Yeah, well, you're part of a team. That's not gonna happen.
So that means I have to give up my entire life because of it?
Yeah.
Well, if being bionic is gonna stop me from having the life that I want, I don't want to be bionic anymore.
Bree, what are you doing?
Getting my freedom.
Bree, no!
And in the scene that I personally feel is one of the best scenes of the series, Donald says that she basically has to give up her entire life because she's bionic. She has a duty. She's a duty as a bionic person to save the lives of other people, do jobs that humans could not do. And now knowing that bionics for sure have basically bound her life in a way that she can't do what she wants to, Bree smashes her own chip, and that ultimately destroys her identity as a bionic human. The main point I want to draw from this is that it takes the extreme for Donald to change his views on his children's wishes. Now, I don't want to play the whole point the finger at Donald Davenport game the entire video, but I really enjoyed the fact that a Disney show had a father that wasn't conventionally good. It also puts Donald in a very interesting place, as I consider his brother Douglas to be a bit of a foil to him in the series. In season 2, it's revealed that the lab rat's biological father is actually Donald's brother, Douglas. And the way that they treat their children are quite interesting and different. Although Douglas treats his children like weapons initially, it's still interesting to see how he treats one of his creations, Marcus, in comparison to the other. Marcus is basically used as a tool to lure the lab rats back into Douglas's life. However, Douglas still viewed Marcus as his son. It's shown that Douglas was quite proud of Marcus, and it's implied through other things that Douglas actually encouraged Marcus to follow his interests.
Get in here.
Your rinky-dink security systems are no match for my genius. Also, I kicked in the door just because it's cool. Why do you even bother? I've been kicking your butt since we were kids.
Marcus. So Leo was right about you.
Hello, Mr. Davenport. Or should I call you Uncle Mr. Davenport?
He's been practicing that for days.
I made drama club.
It's good, too. I keep telling him to try out for Oklahoma.
Get off my back, Dad!
Would it kill you to take a dance lesson?
This is in complete contrast to the Adam and Donald moments that I mentioned earlier, in which Donald ignored and discouraged activities that Adam wanted to do. Aside from their parental relationships, the lab rats have a pretty nice relationship between themselves. Sure, they fight and bicker, but that's standard sibling stuff. It's really shown through a lot of the episodes that they really do support and care for each other. Some of my favorite moments include Adam and Bree in Air Leo, and Bree and Chase in Zip It. In Air Leo, both Adam and Bree want a spot on the cheerleading squad. Cheerleading's actually a perfect fit for Adam. You know, it doesn't make his bionics glitch out due to the mechanics of their bionics. Anytime that the lab rats are overcome with emotion, such as happiness or sadness, their bionic powers kind of go haywire. It's mentioned in Death Spiral Showdown that adrenaline in particular is key to activating one bionics, so sports like football or basketball would not be good for Adam especially. Cheerleading is actually a sport that Adam could do without jeopardizing his bionic secret. Bree, on the other hand, at least in season 1 mostly, she really wants to fit in with the other girls, and so I understand why being on the cheerleading squad would be very important to her. Ultimately, Adam gets a spot on the cheerleading squad because of his physique, so Bree's kinda left out. However, later in the episode, Adam quits because he sees that the cheerleaders are making fun of Bree.
Hey, look, I know I took the last spot on the squad, but do you think you could make room for my sister Bree? I think she's kind of mad at me.
Yeah, not gonna happen. If we let her join, she won't feel the true sting of rejection. And I generously try to give everyone that experience. Girls, come look at this. Ew, she looks like my pet pug when I pin her paw nails against her will.
Hey, stop talking about my sister like that.
I'm your captain. I talk, you listen.
No, when it comes to defending my sister, I'm gonna talk all I want. In fact, I quit the squad. Hey, back off, neck brace. Those babies are mine.
At the end of the episode, Bree and Adam realize that they can combine their efforts and make a cheer that overshadows the rest of the team.
Hey, can you do that? No, I didn't think so.
Ready? Okay. Ooh, what's that? What do I see? Bree cheers better than Stephanie.
Hold up there. Not so fast. Stefan, he's a thing of the past. Better call your mom. It's a cheer, mom. Ring, ring. Hello. Oh, it's your mom.
Hey there, Mom. It's a cheer bomb.
Whoa! Cheer bomb!
Woo! Yeah, that's right. Special effects. When we say boom, we mean boom!
In Zip It, Bree gets her first job with the help of her friend Caitlin, and it's really important to her because this is like the one opportunity of hers that she can, first of all, get away from her brothers, and second of all, start living her life as a normal teenager. Later in the episode, Chase visits Bree's workplace and actually ends up impressing the manager by pointing out that one of the tablets is actually an older model. And as it turns out, the store is looking for one more hire, so Chase's keen eye actually ends up landing him the job. Of course, Bree's pretty upset by this because she really wanted that one thing that got her away from her brothers, and just she didn't want to share it with anyone. There comes to be a point in the episode where Chase is actually left in charge of the store while the manager is gone, so he ends up giving orders to Bree as he would a mission. This leads Bree to purposely trash the store because of the way Chase is treating her.
You're in charge till I get back.
You hear that? Just like a mission. I'm in charge.
And just like a mission, you're obnoxious about it. I'm out of here.
Come on, Bree. Help me clean this place up or I'll have to tell Scott, and you're already not his favorite.
Have you seen that guy? I don't want to be his favorite.
Just straighten up the display models and dust the screens, and when you're done, start vacuuming.
Sure thing, boss.
What are you doing? Scott's gonna be back here any minute.
Oh, yeah, too bad you're the one in charge, so if the store's wrecked, it's on you.
And they both don't really understand why the other needs the job. Bree explains that she finally got something to herself and didn't need Chase to barge in. And Chase says he needs the job too, as it's the only place where his intelligence seems appreciated. It's shown a lot in the series that even though Chase is effectively the mission leader, his smarts are kind of ridiculed. And so it makes sense why they both want to work that job. At the end they come to the conclusion that they can work together, but they need to understand that in the work environment they're not bionic team members, and they're not really brother and sister at the same time, but they're just co-workers, and they need to treat each other with the same level of respect.
Fine. I get it. I guess we both needed this. But if we're gonna work together, no more bossing me around. When we're here, you're not my mission leader. We're equals.
Deal. Although our paychecks tell a different story.
At its core, Labyrinth really is a show about family. The show creators Chris Peterson and Brian Moore have clearly put a lot of care and work in developing the bonds between the characters in the show. This fact was actually acknowledged by Jeremy Kent Jackson, the actor who portrayed Douglas. In a video with Hal Sparks, who plays Donald Davenport, they discuss an argumentative scene that is not only funny, but showcases a relationship.
We have a scene, and we can't really talk about it, what the scene itself was. But recently we had one where we had a good stretch where we were swapping who was to blame. It was an argument-based scene. And the rest of the scene would carry on, and we would always pop back into that argument. And sometimes I would start it, and sometimes you would start it. It was really funny and a lot of fun to do.
And see, that to me, to interject, that to me is less about a punchline and more about a relationship. And that's another thing that's really cool, I think, about Lab Rats in particular, is our writers have taken good care of our characters in that they've really intertwined them into, you know, complicated and I think relatable relationships. And so we are swapping punchlines, but more than that, we're revealing relationships and history and backstory and all that kind of stuff that I think brothers probably all over the world can relate to, right, guys?
I'm not 100% sure if this is correct, but I think the scene that they are referring to in the video is a scene from Which Father Knows Best, in which Douglas and Donald argue on how to fix Bree's chip after she breaks it in 3 minutes free.
Your chip, you were not close.
You were not close. Bree, do you mind? The adults are trying to have a conversation.
Look, we're never going to be able to fix that chip unless we can get Bree to stay in one place.
Well, how are we supposed to stop someone running at the speed of sound?
Spike strip?
Sure, why not? Work for Wile E. Coyote.
Look, maybe we can construct some sort of giant airbag.
Oh, yeah, because that's not cartoony at all.
Spike strip. Where'd you get that idea? Your hair?
Oh, where'd you get the airbag idea? Your belly?
I'll have you know I lost that Christmas weight.
Sure.
Ballistic gel!
What?
You know, the gel that forensics labs use to test firearms.
That's not a bad idea.
I thought it wasn't a bad idea before you did.
Spike strip.
Airbag.
I really hope that more people check out Lab Rats eventually, or even just now. It's on Disney Plus, and I don't really know what other streaming services it's on right now. It could depend on your region, but it's genuinely one of my favorite Disney live-action shows right now, even though I didn't really grow up with it as a child. There's a lot to it than just this zany premise, and I hope I proved that today. And maybe with more people watching Lab Rats, this can convince Disney XD Canada to air Bionic Island finally.